Imagine a free game where the money you earn in-game, the virtual currency, truly belongs to you and is linked to a blockchain. This way, you can choose to convert it into euros or dollars if you want. Also, imagine a game where the items you loot and gather truly belong to you. Every item you collect has a serial number. They belong to you, you can resell them, and there is complete traceability on the item in question. Thus, you can see later by whom it is sold, resold, bought, and so on. Finally, imagine that the game I am talking to you about is already available in early access and for free. Today, I am going to talk to you about, as you might have guessed, Off the Grid. In my opinion, Off the Grid is the only play tool to earn worth playing in 2024 and 2025. Now, I know very well that play-to-earn games often evoke skepticism with people thinking they're scams, but for once, this one is not. I will explain why. First of all, some of you might not be familiar with the term play-to-earn, which can be translated as play-to-win, but win in the sense of playing to gain wealth. Now, you won't get rich playing Off the Grid, but at least you will truly have control the entire inventory and the virtual money you will collect in the game. Play-to-earn games, I've tested tons of them over the past couple of years. It's been trendy since they've been talked about a lot. Bitcoin, cryptocurrencies, NFTs, tokens. We mix all that together and we get a lot. It's worth mentioning that there are a lot of projects that are completely unstable, crappy games that are unplayable, and above all, games that ask you to invest astronomical sums when the projects aren't even finished. I've seen games where you had to invest 300, 400, 500 euros for a virtual token that theoretically had no value and especially no player. Off the Grid is not at all like that, and I'll explain everything to you. First of all, I'll give an overall introduction to the game so you don't get lost. What is Off the Grid? It's an extraction-based battle royale game that's quite innovative. Players are immersed in a futuristic cyberpunk universe, and the game relies on classic battle royale mechanics, where there are a large number of players, so it is played exclusively online in PvP, who will battle on a unique map. The gameplay reminds me of something like Apex, for example. It's quite fast, it's quite intense, and it also has that futuristic aspect. Currently, there is only one game mode available, which is the team mode, so you will be 3 players per team. There are 20 teams, meaning 60 players in the match. You might say, hold on, your game doesn't bring anything new. It's just a simple futuristic battle royale where people shoot each other until only one player is left. Yes, but that's not all. What's very interesting about this title is that it's linked to a blockchain technology where you'll find guns. What are guns? They're the game's virtual currency. In some games, it's gold coins, platinum, diamonds, whatever you want. Here, it's guns. You'll earn guns by playing matches. I kill people, I help teammates revive, I finish in the top 1, top 2, top 3, etc. I earn guns at the end of the match. Guns enable you to buy items on the in-game market. These could be skins for your weapons, skins for your character, or even loadouts, which I'll talk about shortly. But also, these guns you own, you can track their value on cryptocurrency platforms because the guns have real value indexed to Bitcoin, indexed to the euro, and indexed to the USD. The guns that you will earn in the game, which belong to you, can be exchanged for euros. That's not a problem. So we're dealing with a play to earn game. I play, I earn guns, and I can use these guns in the game to buy items, or I can exchange them for dollars or euros. And that's not all. I've talked to you about the battle royale mode, where the idea is to get the most kills and be the last survivor. But in addition to that, in the game Off the Grid, there's something really interesting. You'll find hexes. Hexes are like little cubes of various qualities. There are gray, green, blue, green, blue, and purple ones. You understand that purple ones are the rarest. You might by chance find a hex inside when opening a crate. Hexes are simply loot crates. Loot crates that you can extract from the game to later find them in your inventory. I'm not giving you a detailed guide here. Maybe that will be the subject of another video if you're interested in this topic, but basically you'll need to extract the hex using extractors quite simply. So you can find them at the end of your match. Whether you finish in first place or get eliminated right away, it doesn't matter. As long as it's extracted, you will find it again in your inventory once you're in the menus. So I won't hide from you that it's not always easy to extract hex because other players will simply try to kill you to take your loot. Once you have successfully extracted the hex, you can open them for a few guns. Opening the hex will simply give you an item. This allows you to know where a specific item's production and distribution stand, and then you can track its progress on the market. This is where things get interesting. There are several ways to enjoy this game. You can aim to be the top one like most battle royales, or you can do what I do. Because I'm not good at this type of game, I find the gameplay fast and intense and I can't keep up, but I play just for the enjoyment. I loot, I run across the map to find X's, extract them and open them, and collect items, because some items sell for a lot, some items are rare, and some items are also quote-unquote meta, meaning certain items are sought after because they're supposed to give you a big in-game bonus once you use them. So at this point in the game, we leave that aspect behind. The gameplay, combat and so on, we completely shift to market analysis and investment in quotes, investment in time. As I remind you, the game is free. Yes, you can play it right now. You can start earning your own guns to purchase items on the market or decode the hexes that you will loot. There is, however, a pro version called the OTG Pro for 30 days. It's a kind of premium pass that costs 10 to 11 euros, which allows you to boost your guns earnings after each game. After each game, you'll still receive a significant bonus on your earnings. With your Pro Pass, you will also have levels to progress through. At each level, you can obtain exclusive skins that will no longer exist in a few months when we move to another season. This means that some skins can be truly exclusive, especially since, like now, the game is not yet very well known, so there are items that won't be looted by many players. Finally, being a pro allows you to sell your items directly in the in-game market. If you're not a pro, if you're a free-to-play player, you can only purchase items but not sell them. Regarding the genre itself, in terms of its gameplay, it is fast, it is intense. As I mentioned, it reminds me of Apex. But that's not all, it adds a very interesting game mechanic. Your character, who evolves in a futuristic world, will have cybernetic type attributes. Essentially, it will have a mechanized left arm, right arm and legs. You can interchange your limbs during the game depending on the loot you find. So you can imagine that some arms will allow you to launch rockets, while others will let you become invisible for a short time. Some legs will let you jump higher and others will let you run faster. So there's a whole way to create custom builds with also this aspect of limbs, which are called limbs in English, the kinds of mechanical attributes that replace your limbs. So there's a whole meta that develops around the game. However, I would like to add a small caveat about the overall quality of the game. It's certainly, the concept is interesting. Certainly, it's directly playable in free-to-play on the Epic Game Store. Certainly, there are quite a few players, so matchmaking happens quite quickly, but I find it rather poorly optimized. If you have an inexpensive setup, I think you will have a lot of trouble playing. If you have a mid-range setup, it should be fine, but set your graphics to the minimum to avoid lag spikes and slowdowns. If the project is interesting, I find that for the moment it is not optimized. Technically speaking, I think they can still greatly refine it. One thing I forgot to mention is that the game is available on the Epic Game Store on PC directly. You can play it, the link is in the description. It is a game that I hardly see in any videos, which is very underrepresented and little highlighted, and I don't understand why, because I think it has some amazing qualities. The game is also playable in a sort of beta on the PlayStation 5 and on Xbox with the Xbox Insider program. So it's definitely a game that is trying to reach a wide audience. It is currently in late access and beta stage, and I think we can really have a good active community in the coming months. Also, be aware that the developers are very attentive to the community. Maintain patch notes almost every 2 weeks to make some changes to the game. Patch notes nearly every 2 weeks to make some changes to the game. In my opinion, Off the Grid is a very good play to earn game if you're interested in this economic model. On the channel, I present a lot of free-to-play games, free games, but as you know, with free games, there's always a point when you have to pay either to unlock a zone or a character you didn't have, or to do microtransactions to get small resources to craft and so on. Here you have a free-to-play game with some restrictions on the market, of course. If you only play for free, you have the option to purchase a premium pass for 1 month. It might be worth it if you're really interested in the game and think you'll be playing every night for a month to truly optimize. There are items that are currently theoretically worth hundreds of euros, so it can valoir la peine. So just one last reminder, I'm not here to promote play to earn games. I'm not here to tell you whether it's good or not. I don't have an opinion on that, and I'm not here to debate whether a game should mix real currency with virtual currency. Real currency with virtual currency. I have a mainstream example that comes to mind. When Diablo 3 was released, there was a gold auction house and a euro auction house, and I was thrilled because, quite simply, in 2 weeks I had farmed Diablo 3, sold quite a few items, and reimbursed my game with the euro auction house. So it doesn't shock me, but I can understand that some players are annoyed and believe that a game is made just to be played and not to try to make a few bucks. I would be really curious to know in the comments what your opinion on the game is. I would like to see if there are people who are already familiar with Off the Grid, if there are people who are currently playing, what they think about it, and if the feedback on this video is positive and there is a demand, I will make an effort to create a guide for you. How to download the game, how to play it, how to extract the X, how to earn some guns, which type of object to keep, which type to sell. Let me know in the comments if you are interested. If you want more info on the game, feel free to visit my blog and see the article dedicated to it. I'll see you very soon. Thanks for your thumbs up, sharing and subscribing. This was Kazh.